Hi guys, it's me and I'm back and getting better. I wanted to talk to you about Arise and all of the acronyms. So I wanted to talk about the IBO, the CSP certification, and then um, some of the other. It's not coded language. It's just some of the language that you find yourself using when you actually want to go live or want to express interest and go um, finalize your decision about going with Arise. So we're going to go over what the difference between the ISP is, number one. Number two, what a CSP is. Number three, what it means to certify. So those are the three important things I feel that a lot of people really need to know and be able to distinguish the difference. Decide to come on board with Arise. So let's get started. So again, my name is Robin, and I am an independent business owner partnered with Arise. My business name is under Essential Business Services, LLC. I am looking for customer service professionals to come under my brand. If you're interested, contact me at the bottom. Give me a comment. Let me know that you're interested, and we can communicate back and forth. I can provide you with my email address and or a phone number. If you find that during the course of this stream that you're liking what you're getting, the information is being very helpful for you, please hit the like button, subscribe, and there's more information to come, not just on Arise, but hint, hint, on probably some other things you'll probably be interested in when it comes to working from home. So hit that like button, subscribe, tell a friend, and stay tuned. So how does Arise work? What is with all of the acronyms? Not that there are a lot of them. Again, it's just, some of the language or terminology, as I mentioned, that is used. One of them is, as I mentioned, an independent business owner, which is what I am. The IBO stands for, yes, independent business owner. Now, when you decide to join Arise, of course, just as you would if you were applying for a job, you have to fill out paperwork. In this case, with Arise, you're filling out information on their platform about yourself and your prospective business as an independent business owner or a customer service professional, which we'll be talking about next. So as an independent business contractor, you are required, first of all, to pay your own taxes. Let me just say that up front. A lot of people, for whatever their reasons are, don't really care to take on that responsibility. But some of it is fear, some of it is just a lack of knowledge, where the difference between all of that is that you can always get the knowledge. You can always ask, the right people, be guided in the right direction as to who you would need to speak to. Of course, your tax preparer, your accountant, your bookkeeper, anyone who does any of those types of things would be able to help you and guide you in the right direction on how you would go about doing that. You could even call your state revenue office. So that's one. But when it comes to working with Arise, you complete the application form when you go to log in, and I don't have a visual, but I will be working on that. If you decide to come in as an independent business owner, then you will be required to, of course, have a business name, whatever you decide that you want that to be. You'll then also be required to get a business license, which you can get from your state. You'll also be required to register your business with your state. And you'll be required to, what did I say? Business license. Oh, get a business checking account, which is ching ching, the reason why we would be doing what we're doing. Right? So yeah, you'll need those three. The name of your business, get your business registered either as an LLC or an S Corp. And I can do a sidebar on that at another time, just probably after this video. just give a little information about what that is. Get your business checking account and your business license. Once you have that, you finish all of the application process on the arise.com platform, and you sign some waivers, some contracts, things of that nature. Everything is literally spelled out. There are no hidden surprises. Literally, it just takes time and being comfortable with being able to say okay to those, yes to those, sign those, and then move forward. So that's just a little bit about what an independent business owner is. Now, as an independent business owner, you have some options. You can also, under your own business, work as a CSP, a customer service professional. Now, the way you would do that is once you're in, you'll be able to see all of the opportunities that become available, all of the clients that are looking for agents to work for them. So once you see that, you choose the client you want to work for, you enroll in their certification course. Yes, I did talk about the fact that you would have to pay for enrolling in your certification, which is otherwise known as training. However, we do not use the word training because you're not an employee. You are an independent contractor, so certified to service whichever client you choose to work for. So you choose your client, you enroll in the course. Now, with the paying part of it, you don't pay right away because some of them require background. Now, you enroll. Now, also, when you decide the client that you want to work for, again, everything is out front. Each client has an information page for you to be able to look on to see a little bit about that client, what their hours are, what their pay rates are, what dates the training are, what time, I'm sorry, I said training, oops. What time the certification classes are, how long they are, if at any point during certification they have a mixture of go live and continued certification. Usually that means, let's say, for example, you enrolled in a course for a client and their information sheet says certification is for 8 weeks. After the first 4 weeks, we will have you to go live for 2 weeks for about 2 hours a day or 4 hours a day, and you would get paid for that. So all of that literally is spelled out for you. So you would be doing then, after the 4 weeks in this scenario, training and some hands-on, which is really good because you kind of get fed into it. So then, as I mentioned, you have the information page, which basically spells everything out for you. No surprises. Once you're finished enrolling, and if there's a background check, some of them do require drug screenings as well. Once all of that is done, then it's going to have you'll get your emails, which is another thing you'll want to do. When you put your email in, when you go to put your application in and all that, and you get your username and password that you create, you'll have an email that you'll be using, and you'll want to keep an eye on that email. That is where all of your communication is going to come from with Arise via email. Now, once all of your background is done, your drug screening, if that is a requirement, is all completed, you'll receive emails saying, congratulations, you passed, congratulations, your background check is done. Now it's time to complete enrollment and pay for the course. Then is when you would then pay for the course. Once that's completed, at some point, again, you'll receive a response via email of your payment. Then at some point, you'll also get notice as to when you can go in, seeing modules that'll also be that you'll also be responsible for completing. Again, it is, yes, a self-invested interest, which is where I mentioned in my last video. As an independent contractor, you're working for yourself, so you are responsible for the expenses of your business. So it is necessary to have a business mindset. And once you get that information notification, about the modules being available, then of course you'll know, and it'll spell out for you when you'll be able to actually access that material and literally start doing your self-paced courses and start acclimating yourself with what, the client's calls and processes are. Now, another part I wanted to say is that it got by me, but it'll come back. so, so that is the process as an IBO working as a CSP under basically your own brand. So it's just you're kind of like dual. You're both an IBO and a CSP under your own brand. Now, a CSP. A CSP is one who says, I really want to work for a Rise, but I don't want to go through the process of getting an LLC for a business. I don't want to create a business name. I don't want to get a business license, and I don't want to get a checking account, a business checking account. I already have a checking account. So for a couple of reasons. Number one, you may not want to put out that type of expense initially. You may just want to go in, kind of get your feet wet, get in as a CSP to get to understand, what goes on, in the Arise environment, how do things really work? And then if at some point you decide you want to become an IBO, then you could do that. But maybe you just want to come in as a CSP, customer service professional. It's what CSP stands for, which is my second point that I said that we would go over. You say, I want to come in as a CSP, a customer service professional. You would basically do the same. You would go to the same platform, arise.com. You'll say, it'll say register. You put in all of your information. Now, where the differentiation, you know what I'm trying to say, right? Differentiation comes in at. Sorry, pardon my braces. But where it differs is when you decide somewhere in the process, and I do apologize, I don't have a screenshot, but if you're interested, I literally have step-by-step instructions that I can literally mail to you. So hit subscribe, hit the like button. Let me know in the comments that yes, you would like more information on how you can, get registered and become a CSP or an IBO. But if you're this person that says, yeah, let me just start with the CSP and find out a little bit more before I decide to move to that IBO level, then you can do that. So in the process of you coming in as a CSP, you're going to go through that application process. So when you get down to the certain point, it's going to ask you, do you want to join an existing Arise call center already in the Arise network? And then if you say yes, it's going to ask you for that business name. And in this case, I'm going to say you'll look for Essential Business Services, LLC. When it asks you for the IBO ID, which is the Independent Business Owner's ID or identification, they're asking for Essential Business Services, LLC's IBO's ID, which is me. So they're basically asking you for my IBO ID. And what that does is, or what you then be doing is saying, I think I want to join her brand and just kind of get in and see, how this works and get in, my first client under my belt and see how well I really like it. And if you decide to stay a CSP, that's fine. And if not, you can always change that option. So it's going to ask you for that. You'll put in that business name, Essential Business Services, LLC. The ID, the IBO ID is the 92683. 3. I will have that at the bottom of this video so that you'll have that. Once you finish that process, then you too will also be required to sign a couple of contracts, waivers, and disclosures and things of that nature. Everyone basically has to do that. It tells you a little bit about the fees and how that works, which will probably be another video. That'll be some inside information. I may just offer that information on a one-on-one basis. But once you're done all of that, then again, watch your email, because that's where all of your communication is going to come from. Then you'll be able to see all of the opportunities that are available. Now, one of the, if you want to call it this, a caveat in being a CSP is that when you become a CSP, you get to see all of the opportunities. You even get to see the information sheet, basically what that client, when their certification courses are, what the hours are for certification, how long the certification is, if there is the certification with some go live sessions for you to actually get some hands-on or not. Not all clients do that. I was just giving that example in my last, in the previous example under the IBO. So you'll be able to see everything about that client on that information sheet. The one thing that you will not be able to see as a CSP are the rates, or whatever rate that particular client offers for you to work. Now, for that information, you would, in this case, using my business brand as the example, you would basically email me, Facebook me, call me, chat me, however you want to contact me. I make myself available to say, hey, Robin, I'm interested in XYZ client. What is their rate? And I basically would pass you back and say, here it is. And literally what I like to do, because I do know that some IBOs don't pay the actual rate of what the client pays, possibly for a couple of other reasons, because either they don't charge you a monthly flat out rate when servicing under their brand, or whatever their reasons are. I really don't have their information, but I do. I basically will tell you whatever that client pays is what you get paid. I just have a flat fee per revenue invoice, which is another something that we'll go over in another video, or more maybe on a one-on-one. I just have to kind of fill some things through first about sharing that type of information. So that is the only caveat with being a CSP. Well, there's one other. Well, yeah, kind of like one other. The only other caveat is that usually the communication goes first to the IBO, in this case, me, and then I basically communicate to you. But most, 99% of the time, when I'm communicated, you're also communicated about an issue. Say, for example, you signed up with a client, you've been working now for some time with them, and you're not meeting your scheduled requirements that you chose, and your metrics are not looking good, and things of that nature. And if you're in danger of losing your contract with that client, then, they'll send me email, say, hey, CSP so-and-so is below metric standards. They will need to get their metrics up, ... in order to continue or maintain their SOW, statement of work. That's another acronym. That's what that stands for. And SOW, basically, both IBOs and CSPs both sign whenever you choose a client to service. And that basically spells out what their rates are, what their compliance requirements are, what their hours are, what the rate is, and things of that nature. Everything is spelled out for you on the up and up. Okay, so that's what a SOW is, statement of work. And that's what everyone signs once you decide the client that you want to service and pass certification. You don't sign that up front after you paid for your enrollment. You don't actually sign an SOW, statement of work, until you've completed and passed certification. So all of this is total commitment, whether you're an IBO, independent business owner, or a CSP, a customer service professional. Really, you're putting yourself into this. This is what you've decided you wanted to do. Now, one of the things I failed to mention was when I talked about in the information session, and it tells you when their certification times and dates are. Certifications generally are anywhere between 2 to 4 hours per day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, for 4 weeks or however long the information sheet put out there. So it's Monday through Friday, 2 to 4 hours a day. Now, some clients offer certification sessions such as maybe 9 to 1, 10 to 2, 4 to 8, 6 to 10, 7 to 11. It really just varies on the client and what they have chosen to make available for their times of certification courses. So that was the one thing I didn't get a chance to mention, and I'm sure someone or many may have questions about. So that's all I wanted to talk about today were the couple of acronyms: IABO, Independent Business Owner; CSP, Customer Service Professional, and I threw another one in there, SOW, Statement of Work. I talked about that I would also go over certification and what that is. That basically is what I was talking about as well, otherwise known as training. But as I mentioned, we don't call it training because we're independent contractors. So it is considered certification, and that's what that is. Okay, so I hope this information has been helpful for you. But what do you think you'll want to be? Is it going to be an ISP? Is it going to be a CSP? I'm sorry, ISP. Is it going to be an IBO? Or is it going to be a CSP? What do you think? Let me know. Give me your comments. Hit the like button, subscribe. Hit me up if you want more information, if you want your step-by-step instructions on how to get started with the Arise platform, or if you're even interested in becoming a CSP under my brand. If you have questions, let me know. I am available for you. I will leave my contact information at the bottom as well. Good to see you. Hope to see you again. And my name is Robin, and I'm out. Have a good day.